Welcome back to continuing coverage of this round number 3 in the FA1 division at the 2022 PDGA United States Women's Disc Golf Championships. From Madison, Wisconsin, it's Grant Zellner and Jennifer Allen.
Yeah, it's been a great week here in Madison so far. 320 women. So pretty incredible to see. We are spread out across, I believe, at least 4 courses, maybe 6.
4 is correct.
Round 3, front 9. Virginia is holding down her lead, 2 strokes over Emily, with Alexis and Jessica right following up behind them. We're going to start this one out. Hole 10 is our par 5, 537 feet, longest hole on the course. Tight fairway to get off the tee here, so you have to focus on that first shot just being nice and straight. Maybe finishing a little bit to the left would be okay because the basket is going to be tucked down here, down the hill slightly to the right.
Yeah, really well designed, I think, par 5 for this particular age group. And we've got Ceci on the box.
Yeah, she's got a lot of angle on this disc that's going to cut back into that rough on the left side. It looked like maybe she got a lucky roll out.
There's like elves in these Wisconsin woods, I swear. Wild.
Alexis Kerman throwing next.
Yeah, that holds a lot flatter flight, is what I'm trying to say, to keep her there in the short grass.
Got Emily Yale now teeing off.
And she follows the exact same flight pattern as Alexis. And that's all you want, just a nice clean drive there in the middle.
And Virginia.
Well placed. Keeping her out of the rough there on the left. You know, they have 2 more shots to approach this basket to still get a birdie, par 5. So they don't have to worry about the distance. Ceci keeps that nice and flat, hopefully not going too long. And then she's just going to have that next shot down the hill towards the basket.
Alexis now leading so far for the round at 3 under par thus far in round number 3.
Yeah, she turns that one over a little bit too much. I'm wondering if, oh, lucky, great kick. Fights through.
You got it.
I'm curious, one of those girls would throw a forehand. It looks like the forehand approach would be a nice clean shot to keep them out of that stuff on the right. Virginia plays it a little bit safer.
And now Emily, matching shot for shot with Virginia this round, has maintained herself at just 2 strokes back, looking to move up.
Yeah, we saw so many forehands. Beautiful approach there. We saw a lot of forehands that first front 9, so I was kind of shocked not to see one there. This is a really hard shot because they're going to have to keep the disc low. It's a pretty big downhill slope. Ooh, what a bid. But unfortunately, that's what's going to happen when the basket is placed downhill like this. So you have to be very careful if you're going to run for the basket. You got to commit completely.
I don't know if you caught that, Jen. Alexis picked up a little grass and sprinkled it in front of her face to see the wind direction, and the wind blew it right back into her face. That was a funny moment.
That happens. Hopefully it didn't get anything in her eyes there.
No, she turned to her card mates, and everyone had a good laugh over that. Emily Yale now. In for the eagle.
I was curious if we would get to see one because par 5 definitely gave them some play there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. She wanted that one. And this also might be a par 5, I believe, because we have all ages playing this course. Correct, Grant?
Sure. Yeah. A number of different age groups playing this course.
Yes.
That's correct.
So a par 5 for advanced women might be a little soft, but we had our 10-year-olds and 15 and under, and I believe even our age-protected 55, 60, maybe 65 and up playing this as well. So
all that to say, Emily with the only eagle given up here at the par 5 10th. And so Emily now in a tie overall with Virginia as we check out the 11th. From a par 5 to a short par 3. As a matter of fact, this is the second shortest hole on the course at just 208 feet. Playing to a basket that sort of stays out in the open over here to the left.
yeah, it looks like a pretty simple hole, just watching the height of the disc off the tee. And we see several of these holes that have that little bit of stuff in the middle, but Emily's able to find her way around it.
Here's Ceci.
Nice low drive. Let's see if she gets some ground play. Just a little bit, right at circle 1.
Alexis with just a little bit of a pull. Stays in the rough, but looks like she'll have a little bit of an opening to at least see the basket.
Yeah, Virginia isn't quite as fortunate on getting through that little shrub in the middle. Hopefully she'll be able to stretch out.
Alexis choosing to straddle out toward the fairway.
Fully commits, though. What a beautiful upshot.
I was hoping, because then I was like, I'm going too far away.
Sometimes it's okay when you have to have an upshot. You know, you get to do cool stuff like that. So
yeah, that was a really, really well executed. Virginia now with sort of a jump putt there from within the bush and manages to get pin high.
It came out of her hand pretty high, so that hyzered past the basket. That's a hard angle to get the strength to go that far and keep the height of it correct. Emily has a good bid for the 2.
Off the bottom of the pole there. Oh, Ceci almost floated that one in from circle's edge. So Virginia now to save a par.
Beautiful putt. Yeah, we'll see if that affects Virginia at all, just a little bit. You know, she's coming off of a bogey on this hole after Emily just took an eagle. So we'll see how she handles that. It's only the 3rd round, but I'm wondering if they're already kind of worrying about the totals here. It's getting closer to the end of this major.
All right, we've got a new leader at the top in Emily Yale.
You can follow Ace One Pro if you want to see them out on the course. $3 a month. Like, subscribe, share, join their Patreon account. We're at hole number 12. This is a par 3, 210 feet. So very similar to our previous hole, except for we have a few more guardian trees right off the tee that's going to maybe play with their visual effect of the hole. And this basket is going to be tucked over to the right into the trees just a little bit more than the previous hole.
Almost a mirror image of the last hole, really.
Yeah, this one a little bit faster green, so their putts may slide into the shrubs there on the right. We're maybe going to see a few more forehands, though.
Oh, caught that first tree, though. Ceci manages to miss that first tree. Trundles her way down to, it looks like about a half a step inside the circle.
It's like monkey see, monkey do on this card. They all follow suit. If one does it, it seems like they all are like, yeah, that's a great choice. Virginia going with the backhand. She has a great little fading turnover shot. She pulls this one just a little too much. Hopefully she'll get a little bit of a out there on the right side.
Emily playing first now from still about 160. Scoots it right under the basket.
Yeah, we'll see how far that goes back past into the shrubs. Nice softer turnover approach. That should nestle and stay close, just like that.
Virginia's disc stayed up in the trees, so she'll be figuring out her appropriate stance here. Just kind of a leaner there. Get out and make sure she has at least a look to save that par.
Beautiful putt. Ceci's going to walk away with the only birdie on the card.
Yeah, Ceci started the day the furthest back of the bunch, and she's done some good work so far, as Virginia once again saves that par from a little bit of distance.
Yeah, that was a beautiful putt. Stretched out again. She's had a lot of straddle putts or having to step out from the rough. Nice smooth stroke by Emily.
Alexis cleans up, and we walk on.
Pretty good battle here.
With Ceci continuing to inch her way back into the conversation. Everybody within about 5 strokes of each other. Looking at hole number 13, a par 3, 250 feet. You can see a lot of hard pan on this particular hole. Not a lot of thick grass and roots and rocks and stumps and all sorts of things to choose from, making the ground play something of a lottery, depending on what the players decide to do. Ceci will lead things off.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of a skip. Kind of looks like she hit one of those rocks or stumps that changed the angle just a little bit on the skip.
Emily deciding to go much higher in the air, maybe in hopes of avoiding a lot of those stumps, and does so to perfection.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. Let's run it back and look at that one more time. So maybe a slower speed disc so she can keep the height and let that just kind of drop out of the sky there, versus taking that lower skip route where you don't really know what you're going to hit or could kick. That was a great drive.
Good strategy there. Alexis also getting just a little bit of air under the disc, and it pays off nicely.
Yeah, that Virginia looks to hyzer it off just a little too much. She's going to have a look at birdie, though. Tough straddle.
Oh, same for Virginia. Really tricky straddle there.
That was such nice, smooth putt by Alexis.
Good, soft stroke
Yeah, she
there.
takes her time. It's really good to see.
Virginia once again saving that par. So important at this stage of a championship.
All the other girls tap out their pars.
So now Emily and Alexis shooting the hot rounds of the day thus far.
We're on hole number 14. This is a par 3, 259 feet. They're going to come out of the woods here. Opens up just a little bit more than the previous holes. And the basket just sits right here in the middle. Just that little bit of a shrubbery onto the left side. This is probably maybe one of their most open holes, I would think.
Certainly one of the most open holes in quite a little while. Emily trying to use every inch of that open space. Actually ticks a branch, but manages to stay out in the open. A little short. Oh, look at this one.
Good height. Carries just a little bit just outside circle 1. Ceci flirting with that right side and comes right on up to the basket. Virginia follows suit.
Yeah, needed similar luck. Didn't quite get the forward progress through those branches, though.
Yeah, hung up just a little too much. She's going to have herself a good jump putt to try to save par. Oh! So close. Almost for the birdie.
Here's Emily now from looks to be about 45 or 50 feet. Oh!
Wow, these are such great runs from way outside.
Rough.
And, you know, one of the basket placement being like this, out in the open, good thick grass, it allows you to kind of relax a little bit on, you know, wanting to run such a long putt because it's not really going to go anywhere.
For sure, as Ceci cards the lone birdie, continuing to just inch her way back into the conversation here.
Yeah, these ladies are really making this a fun battle. Alexis always has a cute little smile, too. This card looks like they're really having a good time with each other.
So Emily, now a 2-stroke lead overall over Virginia and Alexis with, as I mentioned, Ceci making some noise. Hole number 15, a par 3 at 319 feet. This hole playing sort of through the open all the way from tee to green, requiring just the slightest bit of left to right shape on the drive. Don't want to go long here though, because all of those bushes and all that shul behind the basket well within the circle's edge, so need to control that distance into the basket area.
Ceci playing the left side beautifully.
Wow.
Right to the basket. I think that could not have been thrown any better. Thank you for the run back. This is exactly how you want to play this hole. Good height,
Look at that.
Good left to right flight of the disc. Nice and soft where it doesn't go too far. That was perfect. Great shot, Ceci.
I thought that was going to be 50 feet short out of her hand, and it just kept on trucking.
The height was perfect.
Yeah, just
Emily
glide.
pulls this a little too hard. Find some spectators on the left side.
Alexis.
is, she's trying that left to right as well. Unfortunately, the height difference, you can tell by Ceci and Alexis' disc, was the difference in that. So Alexis got caught up high. Virginia usually has a good fading shot, and hers just kind of died out, like it hit some kind of tailwind or something that really sucked it down. She's going to be out in the open, though.
Emily to play first.
Good follow through. Perfectly well placed approach. Virginia does the same.
Alexis with the opportunity to give this a little bit of a run. Oh!
Wow!
Missy cannon power!
Can we have another run back? Thank
Two
you.
in one hole.
Wow. These girls are battling for this championship.
Excellent
What a
height,
putt.
excellent weight. That was perfect.
Floats it right down the hill.
Emily saving a par that now she knows she needs to save to keep from losing more than one stroke.
Now, Virginia's tapping out her par, but we are finally to Ceci's drive, and she is not tapping out a par. She is going to tap in her birdie.
Wow.
That was a well-played hole. Lots of excitement. This just keeps getting tighter.
Yeah, 4 strokes now separating the card from top to bottom.
We're to hole number 16. This is a par 3, 292 feet. Low ceiling again might come into play. They're going to want to keep this nice and straight to try to get around this protective guardian tree in the middle. And then the basket is tucked, this time sharply to the left. So we'll see how the girls change their play with this. Another nice low drive. We'll see if she gets any ground play. This grass is thick. Yeah, that's going to keep her just outside circle 1.
But gets far enough down the fairway to be able to see the basket. Alexis, however, does not.
It definitely was nice that it kicked her out to the fairway, though. Yeah, the girls have not had many sharp hyzer shots. And with this low ceiling, this one's kind of tricky.
Oh, sneaky.
Emily punches through on that backside. See if Virginia can keep her angle. It has good height. We need something sharp to really get a skip. But again, the grass is just so thick. This is a very difficult shot to do.
Oh, Alexis finds that back door. And we'll probably at least have a look at the basket from there to save her par, while Virginia now has this long run for birdie.
Yeah, and she needs this to kind of keep it tight. That was a great bid. Ceci gives it a little soft bid from about 45.
No.
Oh, Alexis. Airball from about 25.
It was a strong putt. She was fully committed. Unfortunately, it was just a little offline. But Emily, it does clean up her birdie and is going to spread this apart just a little bit more.
Oh yeah, Alexis. All day. It's fine.
Solid part there from Alexis, knowing that it was to save a bogey and minimize the damage. Also the same from Virginia, once again saving a par, keeping things as close as she can. By the way, that hole, believe it or not, played second hardest of the 18 today. And
That
Emily
doesn't
with
surprise
the birdie.
me. Yeah, that was a tough hole.
You're looking now at hole 17, 236 feet. This par 3 playing from out in the open into a basket tucked into the shadows.
Yeah, it looks like it's slightly uphill as well, so they're going to want to try to put a little bit more on it, and with all of that along the right side, hopefully they can stay out of the rough and make it all the way up to the basket.
Emily leading things off after that unlikely birdie on 16.
Yeah, and that's the line that you're going to want to take. Unfortunately, her disc hyzers off just a little too soon. This hole probably plays closer to 255 or more. That was what I was afraid of, wanting to get that extra distance. They're going to want to have the tendency to pull it a little bit. Hopefully that Ceci will have a little bit of a look out.
Come back. Yep.
And Virginia's going to do the same thing.
Yep.
She's at least,
over there.
Yeah, she's a little bit further up the hill though than Ceci. We want Alexis to stay over here on this left side, just like that. But unfortunately, the height isn't quite as high as she needed it to make it all the way up. Again, tricky hole, great design to really challenge the girls.
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah, just trying to punch out as far as possible.
So now Ceci with her third.
Virginia has a little bit more to work with. This is still not an easy out because you're wanting to punch it high to get up the hill, but that tree comes into play. So that should give her a good look. She's a great par putter. Emily gives it a soft bid.
Catches a branch there, falls straight down, but is up there in bullseye territory.
Uphill putts from that distance are pretty tricky.
Yeah, this whole plane more steeply uphill than the camera can show.
There's a good bogey save from Ceci. That was still probably at least 20 feet out. Emily and Virginia tapping in their pars, and Alexis should do the same. And we are wrapping up this third round. Tension building.
Yeah,
in
things
FA1.
starting to get real. Just one player under par for the championship. That's Emily Yale, but everybody else well within striking distance.
Hole number 18 is a par 3, 259 feet. Again, we have stuff left and right along the fairway as this one slopes downhill, and height on this one isn't quite as important as the previous holes. The basket is going to be tucked just a little slightly to the right side of the fairway and a little bit of a sloping green.
Emily facing the challenge first.
That's great height, keeping it horizontal with the ground. Doesn't get a lot of ground play though. Virginia's looks really clean out of her hand as well. A little more of a skip.
Well played.
It's gonna give her a look.
Long but still inside the circle, and here's Alexis.
This one looks like I have a little more power on it. It's pulling her off to that right side again. I think she's going to get a better kick out though.
Ceci threw that one really soft, maybe wanted it to turn over a little more and sort of glide down there. Doesn't quite work for her.
Yeah, the nose angle downhill was wrong, and so that's going to hyzer that disc off. Let's see if she can get it out.
Alexis up first.
Looks to have a big opening out.
Ceci waiting for a little bit of a distraction there with the starter over on hole 1, and then punches out to makeable distance to save par. And here's Emily.
Good focus, good patience. Oh, so close. It's always nice to end a round with a birdie.
Oh, Virginia up and over.
And she wanted that one. That was good. That was a good bid, uphill putt. Saves her par to finish off the round.
Lots of very important par saves for Virginia during the course of the afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately, Virginia just didn't get all those birdies that she wanted. She's going to finish at 1 down for the day. And the other girls have picked up quite a few strokes on her for the round. That's tying it up total. Emily saves her par, keeping her at 6 under for the day.
Great putt, Alexis. Great.
Emily saying, great putt, Alexis. It was a drop in from about 18 inches away. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, they've been having a great time this whole round.
So there we have it. Closing out the third of 4 rounds here at this championship. Emily Yale opening up a 3-stroke lead over both Virginia and Alexis.
Yeah.
Ceci still on the lead card.
Yeah, Jessica was fighting back, as well as Samantha and Debbie and Alicia. Everyone having a great day in round 3.
Make sure you have followed, subscribed, liked, all the things for all the PDGA social channels, including especially right here on YouTube. We'll be back with final round coverage here at the 2022 PDGA US Women's Disc Golf Championships.